Hello, welcome to Cooking with Chrissy. I'm your host, Christina, and I'll be taking care of cooking for you today. I'd like to present you with some homemade salsa that my son says, world famous for. And so I have some ingredients here that I'd like to put together for you and show you how I go about making my salsa. I have here some Roma tomatoes. I'm finding that the Roma tomatoes have more flavoring for them for your salsa. I have some spices here in case it's not hot enough with the jalapenos that I add, and the smoky paprika I think adds a really nice little smoke flavor. And then I also have some fresh tomatillos that I add in there as well. Then of course you have just a regular onion, a couple of jalapenos again to add some heat and spice, a lot of garlic I enjoy, and then a little bit of fresh lime in the end and some fresh cilantro to add a little bit of freshness to the salsa. I'm going to show you how I prep and get everything ready for the salsa to cook down. I'm going to start with my Roma tomatoes. I just cut the heads of these off real quick, leave them solid and whole, and put them in my water. I have a 3-quart dish here that's got about 1.5 quarts worth of water in it. And by the way, it is well salted water. Okay, next I'm going to move on to the tomatillos. I'm going to do the same thing with those as well, leaving them whole. I'll just cut the heads off of those, put them right down in the water. And it depends on how much salsa you're going to make, but meanwhile, there really is no perfect recipe for this. It's just whatever you want. But the tomatillos adds a nice buttery flavor to the salsa. Just slide that off in there. Okay, the onion, and not a very large onion, but I think it'd be appropriately sized for all of this. I'm just going to quarter it, simple enough, and put it in my dish. The limes will be left for last. I have 2 nice-sized jalapenos. Again, just cutting the heads off, leaving all the seeds inside. Putting those in there as well. And I like a lot of garlic with mine, so I'm going to go ahead and just literally peel them. Nothing fancy. Just take the skin off. Take the little head off right quick. Toss it down in the water. Okay, and then I'm just going to put this on the stove. I'll cover it, put it on the stove, let it boil down for a little bit of time. Again, it's salted water, so it shouldn't take too long. Basically, we're just trying to blanch the vegetables and get them softened up nicely so that when I blend them, it'll come together smoothly. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead. I have the salsa on the stove now, getting ready for a good boil, and I'm just going to go ahead and get some minor things prepped prior to. This will be for the ending, for the finish. And a couple of limes, really surprisingly, just the juice livens up your salsa very well. And of course, I'll be adding some fresh cilantro when I go in for the mix. So I'm peel some of this off. I don't really have to chop it that well, because of course I'll be putting it in my Ninja over here, and it'll do a good mix on its own self. So I'm just going to lightly chop things up, kind of mix it a little bit. And rough chop, I guess you could call it. Just set it off to the side over here. And my other spices and seasonings will be added here at the end as well. Okay, now as you can see, we've finished boiling down. I've poured out probably about 95% of the water. There's very little left in the bottom. I pretty much determined that it's done and finished when the skin starts to pull away from the tomatoes. I also wanted to let you know that I do peel the skin off. Now, of course, it's quite hot, but they don't break down real well in the blender, and then you end up with these really peely pieces. It's kind of yucky. At any rate, so I just pull all the pieces out, because I'll be dumping it straight into my blender, of course. My Ninja, actually. My best friend. At any rate, it's not a terribly long process because the skins are pulled all the way away. It's just getting them out of there without burning the heck out of yourself. Okay, as you can see, I have a little bit of the water left in there. The onions are pretty well translucent, so they're going to come out nicely. I do leave the skin on the tomatillos. It just gives it a nice buttery flavor, and those actually do break down. And the jalapenos also, I leave all the skin, and all the seeds are inside also, which adds a lot of nice heat, the veins, the seeds, and all that good stuff. Okay, so we're here to our buddy. Now, I've tried it a couple of different ways. I've done it, getting away from us there. Okay, I've done it a couple of different ways where I actually cooked it out completely smooth and clear. I mean, just went in there and blended it out, and it was really nice, smooth salsa. I'm trying still to, change things up a bit. I like it with a little bit of consistency, not thick and chunky, but a little bit of meat. So, needless to say, this last time I did it by just pulsing, which the consistency came out absolutely fabulous. I loved it. Alrighty, we have all our goodies here inside the Ninja. A little bit of water, and we're just going to go in and pulse. Just a little pulse. Okay, and one quick. Now, one of the tricks that I've learned, or that I've decided to do, and I think it worked out really well. So you see there's still some chunk in there, but yet you have a nice consistency. Here. Okay, now be very careful because this Ninja has monster blades on it. Learned that one the hard way. Okay, this is where my tomato sauce plays in. I've got tomatillos in there and, fresh tomato. But meanwhile, it's not really that red like a regular salsa. So, I've decided I just have plain, one small 8-ounce can of tomato sauce, plain sauce. Put it in there. Again, it reinforces the tomato flavor. And also gives it a nice, lively color, as you can see. I'll mix that and it'll show up much nicer. I'm going to go ahead and squeeze one lime so far. We'll start out with one. Squeeze one of our limes in there for you. Puts a nice fresh flavor on there, of course. And we'll start out with a pinch of our fresh cilantro. Again, livens up the salsa. Okay. Back on. As you can see how lively the color is becoming with that tomato sauce. I just think it kind of added a nice touch to it. Now I'm going to go in for a taste. Here so you can get a good look at it. Oh yeah. Looks real nice. Smells really good. Now I'm going to taste. Nice consistency, thick but yet slim. Alrighty. It needs a little help. Definitely not on the hot though. It's totally hot. Again, I liked this smoky paprika. Gives it a real nice flavor. You can also gain that flavor by, if you want to roast your peppers before, roast all your vegetables before you put them in there. That gives it the same flavor. And I'd say a little more lime. We've got plenty of cilantro, it's fine. I do think it needs a little more salt. And basically at this point now, you're just tasting, getting a feel for it, more salt. Oh, that smoky paprika really livened it up. Okay. It's much easier just to do this and put it all back together, I guess. Okay, everyone, this is what you're looking for. Notice all the fresh cilantro along with the lime juice really does liven up your salsa. It'll thicken up a little more also once you put it in the refrigerator and chill it real nice. But it looks good to me. You can enjoy it with your favorite chips, or you can make homemade chips of your own. Now that's some good salsa. Thank you for visiting with us. I look forward to seeing you again. And don't forget to like. Thank you.